Hey traders, welcome to this week's weekly wrap-up and outlook. So we're going to be starting off here with the S&P 500. We're quickly looking here on Friday. It's quite a large sell bar. It's one of those things that we're going to keep an eye on because obviously this is a Friday candle and Friday candles are a little bit more weirder, and we go over that in the course material and we explain why. So we're just keeping a very close eye on this. Yes, it has broke below this, which means that we can't really have a bullish bias, but there is still, a chance. We just need to watch very closely as to what happens. If anything is to happen, as a squeeze potential, we'll look at that. But for right now, we're going to have a bearish bias, and we actually started to short a little bit on Friday. It's not there now. We started short a little bit on Friday, and then closed the position before the end of the week, weekend. Because don't want any gap ups happening. So it's just one of those things we're going to keep a very close eye on. We've now got a slightly more bearish bias at the minute. So yeah. Next one is NASDAQ. Now the NASDAQ put on a nice inverse head and shoulders last week, but yet again it's starting to feel. So it's not really valid. So we can remove that. What we can do is draw in a line or an area of support resistance. So if you were to drag this out, you can see, we have fumbled about this area before. A firm break below this would obviously start to slide this market here. And it's just one thing to keep an eye on. Any pops higher, need to keep an eye on those as well until we break either the highs here or if we reject somewhere along here. That's just something to keep an eye on. The VIX, again from last week, still very coiled, starting to break out, came back in, retested that trend line. So it's just one of those instruments we're keeping an eye on very closely. See if anything like this happens in the past. We've seen it spike up really violently quite a number of times. One to lithium very quickly. We're back into this supply zone, demand zone, and yeah, nothing really new on that front. We're just watching a few opportunities in individual stocks, and just going to keep an eye on those. US oil. It's a bit of a weird one. Somebody seen on Twitter a diamond bottom. It's not a diamond bottom. Isn't something I often trade, but you can see something like this. These are usually reversal patterns, and they're pretty strong. So what happens if if it's a massive sell off like this, and the reversal pattern happens down here? Usually a strong reversal pattern to the upside, or if this was to happen, up here, be a strong reversal pattern down to the downside. Now, this is one to keep a very close eye on. Like I said, I don't really use diamond patterns, to be honest. I sort of use more wedge patterns, and it is starting to form one. It's really starting to consolidate, so I've got my eye much closer on this one right now. So watch this week for any opportunities, and go from there. Copper, just completing our chop, so it's one I'm not keeping an eye on at all. Coffee, pulling back into a really nice area here. If there's any opportunities, keep an eye on it this week. Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin is one I'm currently long since last night. Let me see. Bring this over. So I started to get long in here and targeting just below the 5k level as first target. Reason being is, it's a good pullback area. We've sold off really nicely into it. We have, let me move this over a little bit. We have formed a falling wedge pattern. So very clear downward sloping resistance and downward sloping support. Now starting to break out of that. and this pattern's much stronger if it's in an area of support or demand. So this green box is a demand zone, so there's obviously buyer stepping in here and targeting 5k level because it is a supply zone. And if we were to draw on some fibs, I'm sure it'd be a 0.618. Yeah, so 0.618 is just above it. So it's a good target to have. If we see a quick squeeze higher, it's not one I'm looking to hold long term. So I'll be looking to get out here. The opportunity is now gone. If we're getting into this one, I won't be, this could still drop quite hard. Because you can see these are very volatile spikes and have a reasonably safe stop. But I'm prepared if it does start to fall against me, I'll get tagged out and that'll be the trade over. That's okay. But yeah, that's pretty much wrapping it up. And keep an eye on, another couple of things actually before I do. Is Johnson&Johnson, which we've seen on the equity side or the stock market side. On Friday, there was an announcement released that they knew that their baby powder contained asbestos, apparently. Now, that's the reason for the massive drop here, although I think this drop could have been much larger, but because they seem to be aware of this problem, this could be a lot of class action lawsuits and stuff coming from this. So J&J is not one to be looking from the bullish side. In fact, it'd be the opposite. But I'll be looking for signals and any really good pullbacks. If there's not, I'll just ignore it then, but I'll set a few alerts and see what happens. Other than that, one last thing is the Farm Bill. Still patiently waiting on this. This could be announced today, could be announced at any time really. I was sort of expecting it last week, but nothing as of yet. Apparently it was a pass in the House, Senate House, and now it's been passed on to the President, from as far as I'm aware. So we're just sort of waiting on that and seeing what happens next. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.